With the damn audio problems. Oh, I think I may have fixed it. Right. Okay. Moving on from yesterday. September 7th, 3:11 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room. Oh god. Great start. Well, hello. Didn't expect anyone to visit me in such a dank place as this. It's really quite moving. Not, you stinking lawyer. I hope you die. Jesus. Have you come to laugh? Yes, laugh at the fallen Miss May. No, not really. There's something I wanted to ask. Unfortunately, there is nothing I want to be asked. Haven't you done enough questioning, you spiky head? Here we go again. Please, you're scaring the security guard here. He looks terrified. So, what is it you wish to ask of me then? For starters, how did you get to be so totally whacked? Talk. That man. Why is man in quotation marks like it might not be a man? About the man who stayed with you in your hotel room. God, that was probably quite loud. My bad. Can you tell me about him? Where is he? Come on. No way, Jose. Maybe if I had something to get her to talk. I don't think I do. I don't remember what evidence I have. I try the wiretap. I can't much present. Why did you place a wiretap on my Mia's phone? When you say it like that, it sounds so cold, so criminal. You're in prison. Tapping people's phones is a crime, Miss May. Oh, and I suppose you learned that in lawyer school. Creep. This woman is impossible to talk to. Say, why are you so angry? I mean, you don't look like a bad person. Oh, that does it, bottom-feeding, scum-sucking lawyer. Jesus. Bottom? I can't tell. Does she have a thing against lawyers or just against me? Oh, she's not talking. Let's try... What happens if I present that? Hey, guess what? Actually, I really hate your guts, so get lost, because I'm not cooperating. Thanks, I noticed. Okay, she's useless right now. September 7th, Grossberg Law Offices. Huh, looks like Grossberg's out today. Again. Maybe he's avoiding me for some reason. Who's this? What's this? Old photos? There are two lying here. Something's been written in pencil on the backs. DL6 incident exhibit... DL6 incident exhibit A, DL6 incident exhibit B. Let's take a look at these. A? I'm sure I've seen this person somewhere. Perhaps I'll borrow this photo. I'm sure no one will miss just one little photo. And it might be a valuable clue. I'll take it for now. Well, what about the other one? Photo lies on the desk. Maybe I should switch it with the one I took. Yes, because that appears to be red-white. That might get her to speak. I think I'll swap them then. Side mahogany desk, always been polished. Wait a second. Wasn't there a giant painting hanging on that wall? Yeah. Yeah, it was a painting of... Oh, none of them. Fishermen? Wasn't it? Wasn't it a very It wasn't a very memorable painting somehow. There's a guy wearing a straw hat or some shit. This is all the same, right? Yeah, so there's not really anything here. Let's see if that photo will get her to talk. You again? Can't you take a hint and stay gone? Hey, the only reason I'm back here is because you won't talk to me. Oh, so it's my fault now. You don't just have spiky hair, you also have a spiky heart. That does it. When this case is done, I'm shaving my head. Have a look at this. Look, I've said several times, I'm not telling you... Yep, there we go. What did you... Aha, a reaction. This is him, isn't it? What? Who? When? Why? How? Where? It is him. This is the man who stayed in your hotel room the night of the murder. No, that's not right. Nice try, Miss Cooperative. Do you have proof it was him? Yeah, proof. Show me the proof. I'm so close. I don't have proof. Yeah, I don't have any proof. Looks like forensics is taking the day off today. Detective Gumshoe's nowhere in sight. The police really gave this place a working over. I doubt there are any valuable clues left. Suppose it can't hurt to take a look around, though. Can't. Yeah, there's nothing really new here. Yeah, it's all the same. What about here? September 7th, Gatewater Hotel, room 303. Ah, welcome, sir. Quite the performance today, if I dare say so myself. Oh, thanks. Sorry for putting you on the spot like that. No, not at all, sir. Your efforts today can only help the Gatewater's rep, as they say. Huh? Rep? Yes, our reputation will swell as the hotel where the murderer... as the hotel where the murderer used a wiretap. We can charge a premium for the room, of course. It will be great for business, sir. Whoa, Miss May hasn't been charged with murder. I, too, will become famous. The bellboy who brought the murderer iced coffee. Why do I feel like we're both stuck in the same bad dream? So, you are our honoured guest. Please let me know if there's anything I can bring you. Talk. No, wait, if I present. Take a look at this photo. That's him, detective. Not a detective. I'm the lawyer. Oh, I know that. I just wanted to say detective once. You know how it is. No, I don't. Without a doubt, that is the man who checked in with Miss April May. How about I write an affidavit swearing that that's him? An affidavit? This guy is way too excited about this. Yes, have him write it. That will be enough proof for April May, bitch. Well, sure, why not? Yes! I've always wanted to write an affidavit, sir. From henceforth, I will be known as the bellboy who swore the affidavit. Jesus Christ, calm down. Just hurry up and write it. Not even Miss May can play dumb to this. Good. Talk, do we have anything? Miss May. About Miss May. Oh, her. Sir, not to boast, but I knew the moment I saw her. She'd do it, I said. Do what? I'm starting to think the most suspicious person here is this guy. I wanted to ask you about the man who was with Miss May. Ah, yes. He struck me as a real lady killer, if you pardon the expression. I knew it from the moment I saw him, sir. He and I are of the same ilk. We both carry the scent of danger. There we are in total agreement, Mr. Psycho Bellboy. If you had a photo of that man, I'm quite sure I could identify him. Oh, I should have done that after, okay. A photo. Hotel. Could you tell me about this hotel? Absolutely. And on that subject, I have an excellent idea, sir. Currently, this hotel is known as the Gatewater. I propose that we add a subtitle. A subtitle? The Gatewater Hotel, Murder Manor. Well, I'm not the person you should be talking to about that. Plus, you're the bellboy. I don't know, speak to management? Well, what do you think? Sounds great. Whatever floats your tea, sir. Okay, he's got nothing else. Move. Back here. Present. That. Could you have a look at this? What's that? The bellboy's affidavit. It tells us everything he saw, such as the man you checked in with, who is most definitely this guy. Now I'm getting somewhere. Push her hard. This is it. All or nothing. Time to do a little bluff. No use playing dumb, if indeed that's an act. If you don't talk, I'm taking this info to the press. What? Even though he should have been witness to murder, your little friend was missing. I'm sure the press would have field day with his reputation. Oh, fine. Oh, fine, I'll talk. Jesus. You win, lawyer. Yes, man, that felt good. It's great to be alive. Why are you pumping your fist in the air? Now tell me about the man you were with. That man? He's my boss. Red White, the president of the information gathering conglomerate Blue Corp. Red White? Have we not heard that name before? That's the problem having known these games. Like, some of the characters I know their names. I'm sure we must have heard his name before somewhere. I don't know. Either way, I do know some of the characters' names before they should be revealed, I guess. Information gathering? Well, I suppose you could call it a detective agency. Huh. So this is the man that was with you the night of the murder. I'm scared to talk. I don't want to end up like her. Oh? It's okay. I'll just ask Mr. White himself. Can you tell me where Blue Corp is located? Huh? Mr. Red White, at last. Finally, a lead on this guy. If April May couldn't have done it, that leaves him. Time to take action. Bellboy's affidavit discarded. That... Why would you do that? Just keep it. Just in case, you know? Anything else? No. Move, You in yet? Alright, this is getting ridiculous. Where the heck is that loafer? Ah, that old familiar clearing of the throats. Aha, you again. Hello, Mr. Grossbug. Well, well. You are quite the thing, my boy. Excuse me? The trial. The trial. He was there? Reminded me of myself when I was a youth. I guess something got passed down through me, maybe. It brings back memories, it does. I should put my glasses on. That might help. Yeah, it brings back memories, it does. Ah, the days of my youth. Like the scent of fresh lemon, you see. I apologize. It was all a bit too much for me, my boy. Seeing you today, I appreciate the reminiscing, but I'd much rather you gave me some information. So, you came to see the trial? Yes, I did. Something was bothering me all last night, you see. I couldn't get a wink of sleep. Really? What was that? Well, you see, it's just Mia's sister, that poor girl. My boy, I owe you my thanks, truly. I don't know what I would have done if things had gone poorly for that girl. If you were that worried about her, why didn't you offer to defend her? I asked before, but why did you refuse her request for defense? I think I have a right to know. A right, Mr. Wright? Yeah, I don't think you do have a right. No, I'm sorry, it's just I need more time to think about it, my boy. He does seem troubled about something. Maybe I can find something that will inspire him to talk. The other day, I'm sure there was a big, pretentious-looking painting on that wall. Pretentious-looking? Well, you know the one I mean. Anyway, where did it go? Ah, yes. Well, I got rid of it. Got quite tired of the thing, really. I sold it, you see. Yeah, that's right. Sold it? I'm not sure I'd buy that. Wasn't that painting rather important to you, sir? Did something happen? I don't see how it's any of your business. Please, speak no more of that accursed painting. I mumble. Alright, do I have anything to present him? Excuse me, I was wondering about this photograph. Where did you get that? Give it back at once. I'm sorry to have taken it without your knowledge. But, I have to know, who is this man? He was most likely in April May's room the night of the murder. What's that you say? Are you quite sure, my boy? What has him so flustered, I wonder? I beg your pardon, but I must ask you to leave. I need to be alone. He's fallen silent as a stone. A rather large stone. I guess I should return that photograph. Photograph returned. So I don't have that anymore. And I've also gotten rid of that fucking affidavit, so there's no way to prove that Mr. Redwide was in the room now. Blue Corp. September 7th, Blue Corp Inc. CEO's office. What's with the surreal decor? Welcome! Please furnish me with the title of your personage. Oh no. God damn it with the fancy speaking. I struggle with English. I really struggle with English. What the... Your name. What's your name? I was just inquirably asking the title that you go by. Right. Phoenix Wright. Inquirably? Mr. Wright, is it? Right, I see. Splendiferous. Is that a word? Hey Siri. Is splendiferous a word?
Splendiferous is an informal and humorous term. It means splendid.
Well, would you look at that? It is a real word. Informal and humorous term. Interesting. Perhaps I've intimidated you with my giantesque vocabulary. Hey Siri. Is giantesque a word?
Okay, I found this on the web for his giantesco word.
Give me results for giantesco. Hi, CEO of Blue Corp. You know, corporate expansion official. My business dealings bring me into contact with the elite of the elite. So I'm afraid I'm not used to conversing with the wordily challenged. What a fruitcake. Innit? Let me guess. Oh, adjust my mic. You're an attorney fresh out of law school, are you not? That's the only explanation for why you would come to meet me like this. What does he mean by that? No matter. So, what business does a mighty lawyer have with a man such as myself? Yipes, this guy's arrogance meter is off the scale. Examine. Okay. I'm guessing this is supposed to be a desk? My, this is quite the thing. It is modelled on my body, see? Oh yeah, I bet it is. Well, does its sleek roundature not inspire you? Why would it inspire me? Well, look at his arms, makes me want to work out. That ass too. Buttons of steel. That's that painting, isn't it? Haven't I seen this somewhere? Is this a replica? Ridiculosity. Okay, that's not a word. I have no interest in anything but originals. That right here is a bona fide original, worth 5 million for sure. Huh. So that would explain where Grossberg's painting's gone. An impressive lineup of trophies. Judges Special Runner-Up, Best Participation, Judges Cooperation, award, Special Good Try Prize. Huh. The words judges and special kind of stand out. Is that your body again? A statue of a man holding up the world. Very Atlas of you. The blue coat sign is, certainly stands out enough. The model for the man is, of course, Mr. White. Truly a work of art, but probably too beauticious for you to appreciate, correct? I think it's a little too beauticious for just about anyone to appreciate. Is there anything else? This is the top floor of a 20-story building. The view is quite presidential. Don't know that. Oh, let's talk to the asshole. Miss May is an employee of Blue Corp, is she not? Correct. She was my You've got to be kidding me. Secretariat. Secretariat? Okay, is that like a translation problem there, or is that genuinely what he's supposed to have said? Because that I definitely refuse to believe is a real word. What a shock it was to hear what she'd done. Oh, yeah, of course. What she'd done? You mean the wiretap? Indeed, she is paid to answer phones. Tapping them is not in her job description. She does gather information for us as part of her duties. But I assure you, we do not condone illegal methods. It is ineffable that she would do this. Sounds like he's trying to turn Miss May into a scapegoat. On the night of the murder, you were in April May's hotel room. Oh wait, on the night of the murder, you were in April May's hotel room? Who can say? I seldom pay attention to mundane details such as time and place. My motto is, don't worry, be happy. Alright, Bob Marley. Still, Mr. White. The hotel bellboy has stated on the record that he does remember you very clearly. No matter, the bellboy can say what he pleases. I still won't talk to you. If you want me to speak, put me on the witness stand. Although I doubt you'd be capable of doing that. Huh, raises a good question actually. Why didn't the prosecution call him as a witness? He should have seen the same thing as April May. Ho ho ho. The police, the courts. To me, they are mere toys, playthings for my amusement. What kind of company is Blue Corp anyway? Ah, excellent question. We buy and sell various kinds of information. We're a company of the future, you might say we are the future. Sell information? In just 10 years, I've built this business up into the grand office you see now. In case you're wondering, Blue Corp was named after the color blue. I, Red White of Blue Corp, as founder and CEO, named it so. And why, you ask? Because I like the color blue, of course. Fantabulistic, is it not? There's something that's been bothering me. Yes, what might that be? That big painting on the wall over there. Do I play into it by saying it's gorgeous and maybe he'll start raving about it and let something slip? I've seen it before. Let's try that. It's a very striking piece of art. Magnificentatious, isn't it? Yeah. Why am I making small talk? Okay, I'll get the right thing. I've seen it before. You know, I've actually seen that painting before. Oh? Just yesterday, actually. Your point being? My point is simple. Rather, my question is simple. Why is that painting hanging on your wall? Mr. Wrong, was it? Right. It appears you do not fully grasp your position here. I ask again, who are you? A lawyer? No, my feeble friend. A mere lawyer. Worth nothing. Zilch. Zippo. Nada. Just like that sorry excuse for an attorney, Grody Burger. Ah, they know each other then. Well, that was obvious from the painting, but... What? Ugh. Oof. Did you just bitch slap me? He punched me. Well, Mr. Lawyer, what will you do, eh? Charge me with assault? Charge away, I welcome it, for it is you who will be found guilty. What? Heed my exposition. The police, the courts, they all do my bidding. So you say. But I wonder, is that kind of control really possible? I don't expect you to understand. It is a well beyond your compensation. Does that word really even work there? You came here from Grody Burgers, I presume. Mr. Grossberg's, yes. Then you must ask him, why is it that this painting of his hangs here? Perhaps then he will tell you. Perhaps he will explain how a man can live life purely for personal profit. Go now, skedaddle. There is nothing more to discuss. Okie dokie, looks like we're going back to Grossberg. Huh? I don't think he's noticed me standing here. Maybe I should clear my throat? Ahem! Jumping Jehoshaphat's. Oh, you. What's wrong? You look so pensive, like an old man at the end of his days. I'm not senile yet. I was just thinking about this whole mess. Something's really bothering him, that much is clear. Oh, wait. I think... I was probably supposed to come here after I'd spoken to him. So, I paid Blue Corp a visit. Oh? Oh, I see. Mr. Grossberg, I have to admit something has been bothering me. Oh? What is it? Well, out with it, my boy. You see, it's just... Big painting? Mr. Grossberg, sir. There was a giant painting hanging right there the other day, was there not? The one you said you had no intention of parting with? Well, I saw it, today. It was in the CEO's office at Blue Corp, Red White's office. So, You noticed. Oh, so you noticed. I suppose I should have guessed you would. It is a large painting. Mr. Grossberg, I know you and Mr. White are connected somehow. Connected, you say? Yes, and I know what it is. You're lovers. Oh, wait, no, hold on. I have to. It's not something I can claim to understand. You understand it very well, Nick. But you and Mr. White are lovers, aren't you? What? My boy? You sent that painting to him as a sign of undying love. My boy, please. You're letting your fancies run away with you. Where do you get these bizarre ideas? I don't understand how you could... That's because we're not... Don't be ridiculous. Enough. I'll swallow my pride and tell you all. I knew it. Oh, okay. It doesn't matter that I said the wrong thing. I mean, it kind of sucks that I said the wrong thing because... because then I got the answer wrong, but... I knew it! They are lovers! But at the same time, it still gets me to the same place. No, we are not lovers! Red White is a man who makes his living through intimidation. Blue Corp is a company that excels in finding people's weaknesses, I'm afraid. I've been paying them for 15 years now. 15 years. All because of the DL6 incident, as you may have guessed. The name on the back of those photographs. As you suspected, I could not stand in defense of Maya because of this. White would have destroyed me if I did. So that's the connection. It's hard for me to tell you this, my boy, but arresting Red White will be nigh on impossible. Impossible? Why? He has information on everyone. It gives him an iron grip. He doesn't have information on me, but I can't arrest him. He owns judges, attorneys, prosecutors, police, and politicians. What? They are bound, unable to do harm to themselves, and therefore to him. Don't look at me like that. What you see is nothing more than the weight of many years. What is the DL6 incident? DL6 is nothing more than a sorting code the police gave the case. It was 15 years ago now. I received a request from a medium, a spirit medium. A medium? Her name was Misty Faye. Misty Faye. So, Maya and Mia's mum. Faye. Oh, I don't know if that's been mentioned yet. Indeed, she was Mia's mother. That was mentioned. Yeah, Maya mentioned it. She'd been investigating a murder at the bequest of the police. And she failed. As a result, the police called her a fraud. This is what Maya was talking about the other day. I did all I could for her, and in the end, cleared her of wrongdoing. I am struggling the things that I know, and being like, oh shit, was that already mentioned in the game so far, or is that just something that's in my... that, like, just then I was a bit worried that I'd spoiled the whole that's Mia and Maya's mum thing. But no, it had already been mentioned. That murder case, however, remains unsolved to this day. That case is the DL6 incident. But why were you blackmailed over this, Mr. Grossberg? The DL6 incident was top secret at the time. It made sense. The police didn't want people to know they were using a spirit medium. They couldn't let people know, but one person found out. I told him. You told White? He offered me riches. It is an embarrassment to me now. Because I talked, the police were mocked far and wide. In secret, they began looking for the one who sold them out. Of course, White heard about it, and he came to me. Only this time, the offer was blackmail. I see. White controls the law of this country as he sees fit. Yet, if you would still challenge him, have a close look at Mia's office. Mia's office? She followed his every move for years. She may have recorded something of what she found. Ooh, okay. It's funny, looking at this room. It seems so normal. Hard to imagine a murder took place here. Mr. Grossberg said there would be clues. Maybe I should have another look. At the books, I'm guessing. All the cases the chief's ever worked on are filed here. They're in alphabetical order. Let's take a look. Which file should I look at? A to I. Let's see if there's a record in this file that catches my eye. Ha! A, B, F. Misty Faye. Oh, I was looking for DL6. Misty Faye, that's Mia and Maya's mother. Huh, should I take a look? Yes. I have tarnished the Faye name, leaving only these words. My mother vanished. I was determined to find the ones who had made my mother blame herself in this way. Using the power that runs in my family, I held an audience with the dead. Finally, the names of two men surfaced. One was Marvin Grossberg, a lawyer who sold my mother's information for riches. The other was the man who sold that information to the press. This parasite, who makes his fortune on threats and coercion, his name is... the record stops there. Well, I wonder who it is. So Mia knew Grossberg. Okay, that's not ticked out, so... J3S, nothing much in here. Skim. Sigh. Well, no harm in flipping through a bag. That's the biggest part here. Suicide? Ew. Why is ill your reaction to suicide? She has a collection of suicide reports. There's politicians, policemen. They're not suicides, are they? There's writing on most of these in pencil. White. This is Mia's handwriting. Wait, I get it. Mia thought he was involved in these suicides. White drove them all to... I can use these newspaper clippings. Let's find the most disturbing one. Newspaper... Why would you want the most disturbing one? Okay, that's all from that. So... do I want to try and present... Well, aren't you persistent? Sorry, but there's something I have to ask you, Mr. Lawyer. I really hate having to repeat myself, but it seems the message has not yet penetrated your thick skull. Stop bothering me. If you try my patience further, I fear a nasty accident may occur. Do I make myself clear? Transparent. A nasty accident... Well, those are suicides, but like this? This is the only clue that Mia left me. I'd better make this one count. Mr. White, see this? This is an article describing the suicide of a politician. He was embezzling secret government funds. Then, one day, word got leaked to the press. The very next day, he took his own life. And this concerns me how? I found this article in Mia's office. Miss Mia? She had a file filled with articles like this. Every one of those was labelled with a single word. White. Oh, my controller battery's low. Okay. Everything might cut off for a second if my batteries run out and I need to get some replacements. Mr. White, I know what you did to this politician. You blackmailed him. You were blackmailing him. Blackmail? Not just him, either. You were threatening and coercing hundreds of others. You were involved in all of the suicide cases that Mia investigated. This company is built on blackmail. I'm right, aren't I? What a bizarre accusation. Mr. Wrong. What is it that you should be doing now? Investigating me? No, I think not. You should be searching for the ones who killed Miss Mia. Secretary's office, hello. Mr. Wrong will be leaving now. Yes, sir. I'll send someone right away. Wait a second, Mr. White. You're right? You are absolutely right. I should be looking for the killer now. And actually, I've done better. I've found him. He's sitting right in front of me. Oops. The batteries are connected here. Okay, this is their full. My rechargeable battery things have been really crappy lately, so yeah. Just what are you insinuating? Mia was onto you. She was keeping tabs. For this reason, you had April May tapping her phone. Then Mia was murdered, and all the documents about you mysteriously disappeared. So, the culprit would be... Even a child could work it out, Mr. White. You did it. Secretary's office. We won't be needing an escort for Mr. Wrong. Instead, please connect me to the public prosecutor's office. Of course, sir. One moment, please. White, that you? What are you doing calling me at a time like this? Hello? Chief Prosecutor, I've changed my mind. I want to testify tomorrow. What's this about? The Mia Fey case. I witnessed the murder, you see. And thus, as a very important witness, I would like to testify. What? Why now? I thought you said you didn't want to go to court. Quietude. That's not a word either. I told you I changed my mind, did I? Didn't I? Oh, and one other thing. Send the police over here right away. The man is standing right in front of me. He looks dazed, but could be violent. What? What man? Are you even listening? The executioner, the hatchet man, the liquidator, the killer man. What? Mr. White, this isn't another one of those. Chief Prosecutor. I do not believe you are in any position to freely offer your opinions to me, correct? I'm telling you to send the police. Now. Did I not tell you, Mr. Wrong? You are a mere lawyer. As was Miss Mia. How dare you? I'll point the finger at you, and you will be tried as Miss Mia's killer. Tried. The case is as good as settled. No lawyer of any worth will defend you. I have friends in the local lawyers' association, you see. You'll be given a lawyer so stupendously inept that they make even you look competent. I feel faint. Detective Gumshoe reporting, sir. Oh, hey, Dick. Butts. Harry Butts. Right, actually. Phoenix Wright. And my friend's name is Larry. Oh, right. Sorry, pal. Butts was that murderer, right? No. Detective Gumshoe, I present to you the man who killed Miss Mia Fey. What? Take this despicable human being into custody. Farewell, Mr. Wrong. Well, peace out. September 8th, 3:37 p.m. Detention Center Visitors Room. I can't believe it's only been a day since the first trial. My trial begins tomorrow. White's going to set a trap for me, and the prosecution will be in on it, of course, Edgeworth included. An attorney was assigned to me by the state yesterday. I refused. I had an idea. Wright? Mr. Wright? Oh, Maya. Great, they let you out of detention. Wait, so she's on the visitor's side now? It looks identical to the side of the glass that the prisoner's on. Just now, yes. It's all thanks to you. Now I'm afraid we switched places. What? You mean you... Okay, now I'm confused. Is she still on the prisoner's side, even though she's been let out? I don't know. I explained what had happened to Maya. I don't believe it. How many people does that man need to destroy before he's satisfied? My mother, my sister, and now you! This has gone too far! Mr. Wright, please tell me, is there anything I can do? Well... Defend me in court. Alright, you can be my defense lawyer tomorrow. That's not what I meant. I meant work with me. Alright. Huh? Leave it to me. I am Mia's sister after all. Lawyership runs in our blood. Wasn't it ghost powers that ran in your blood? I better run to the bookstore and pick up a copy of Law for Rookies. Oh, wait. What? I'm kidding. It was a joke. No way. No, really, I was kidding, but thanks. It's good to know you're on my side. There really isn't anything you can do for me anyway. But I can't just sit here and do nothing. I've got to give that man a piece of my mind. Just a piece? Okay, then come to the trial tomorrow. Oh, was I supposed to say cheer me on? I thought that would, you know, normally Maya's like, yeah, she's you know, stands with you in court. Okay, I'll be there. I'll show them a thing or two. Times may change, yet with crime, it's the same old story. In fact, it's gotten worse. Lengthy court proceedings are no longer realistic. Beginning a few years ago, a limit of 3 days was put on initial court trials. Almost all finished in a day, most with a guilty verdict. I never thought I would end up in the defendant's chair myself for this case. With the true culprit appearing as the star witness. Oh god, my hair's all over my mic. This is it. Tomorrow, it's me or him. To be continued. Saviors. September 9th, 9:52 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 1. Oh, Maya looks like ready to destroy some stuff. I'm not good with speaking. Well, I guess this is it. Yeah. One way or another, I'm gonna find ya. I'm gonna get you. This case gets decided today. Ah! Phoenix, look! Oh, hey, Miles. Prosecutor Edgeworth? I received a call from the Chief Prosecutor's office yesterday. I was told that whatever Mr. White says today, it will be the absolute truth. No matter how hard you try to attack his testimony... Oh, Edgeworth's being good. He's going to tell us, like... He knows this guy is chatting shit, but he's going to tell us, yo... just no matter how you try to attack his testimony, it's not gonna work. Maybe you need something solid that's gonna get him. Edgeworth is proving already he's on our side. Gotta love Edgeworth. He may seem cold on the surface, but he is a sweetheart underneath. If I raise an objection, I have it on good faith that the judge will listen to me. What? Does White have wait, what? Does White have the judge in his pocket too? Oh, because you're the prosecutor, so you're on his side, so yeah. Okay, that makes sense, actually. Never mind. So, you're saying I'm gonna be guilty? End of story. No, that is not what I'm saying, Phoenix. I will do anything to get my verdict, Mr. Wright. Anything. Why? Why? How can you torment an innocent person like this? Innocent? How can we know that? The guilty will always lie to avoid being found out. There's no way to tell who's guilty and who is innocent. Yes, but you know me. All that I can hope to do is get every defendant declared guilty. So I make that my policy. Edgeworth, you've changed. Phoenix, you know him? Don't expect any special treatment, Phoenix Wright. Phoenix? Well, court will be starting soon. What? But wait! Your defense attorney isn't even here yet. They're not... I'll be defending myself. You know, just like Ted Bundy did, and we all know how well that went. What? Okay, let's do this. September 9th, 10 AM, District Court, Courtroom number 1. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, are you sure you're up to doing this? Yes, Your Honor. I will be defending myself. Understood. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. As the details of the event are already quite clear to the court, today we will hear the testimony of a witness to the defendant's crime. I see. The prosecution may call its witness. That went far too smoothly. Yeah, it also brings up the question of, we know that April May was lying, but now we're finding out that there was evidence withheld from the court in the sense that it was... Red Wright was there too. So was he in on this lie yesterday? If he was, surely that would make his testimony unreliable. Why didn't the judge ask Edgeworth why his witness didn't testify before? Oh, okay. It's like he already knows why. Huh. If anyone's going to raise an objection about this, I suppose it's me. Mr. Edgeworth, you owe an explanation to the court. Why didn't this witness testify in the trial against Miss Maya Fey? I'm ever so sorry. Mr. White is a busy man, and besides, at the time I thought that Miss May's opinion was all that would be needed. Again, my sincerest apologies to the court. Excellent, Mr. Edgeworth. I appreciate your demeanour. Oh, Judge. Great. He gets to show off and I get nowhere. I would like to call Mr. Red Wright to the stand. Please state your full name. You wish to know the title of my personage? Oh my god. Your name. Yes, that is what I said. Oh dear, do my locutions confuse? Name! These two are great together. My name is Red White, but my friends call me Blanco Nino. Okay. I'm the CEO, or to use a more common term, the president of Blue Corp. Did you know the victim, Miss Mia Fey? That would be a negatory. No, I did not. That's a lie. You were at the Gatewater Hotel the night of the murder? Correct. And you witnessed the murder from there? Why tell you what you already know? Very well, Mr. White, you may begin your testimony. If I can't rip this guy's testimony apart, I'm done for. Why do I always feel like it's the end of the world and I'm the last man standing? Ho ho ho. Bling. I hope you have made your peace with God, Mr. Lawyer. Let him have it, Phoenix. Let's see, it was about 9 o'clock, I believe. I was quietly that's reading to you, some papers by the window. Then I heard a bedlam coming from outside. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. It was then I saw him, a spiky-haired man attacking a woman with long hair. Needless to say, that man was none other than you, Mr. Lawyer. I called Miss May over at once. She, too, was flabbergasted, of course. The victim, she ran away, but you gave chase. Finally, there was a terrible impaction. Then it was all over. If things occurred as you testify, then I'm afraid the defendant is guilty. Very well, defendant, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Well, this still doesn't account for why April May lied. It was about 9 o'clock, I believe. I'll just press everything and see what I get. How do you know what the time was? Because I'm always absolutely perfect, you know. No. You're not getting away with that. You're also mistrusting, Mr. Lawyer. You are so mistrusting. So, what was the proper term for secretary again? Anyway, Miss May ordered room service for 9. It happened soon after the room service arrived. That's what Miss May said too. Press further. True, the bellboy who brought the coffee saw Miss May, but he didn't see you. But he testified that he did not see you at the time. This is your concern? Silly lawyer. Miss May received the coffee outside the room. Of course he could not see me. He'd need X-ray vision to pull off something like that. Tell us, what were you doing at that time? I was quietly perusifying, that's a reading to you, some papers by the window. I'm literally just got to press everything. By the window, you mean the one directly across from Fay & Co. law offices? Correct. That is the only window, you see. And there you were reading papers? Correct. The Gatewater is a businessman's hotel, and I am a busy man who had business to do. Then I heard a bedlam coming from outside. A bedlam? It must have been when you attacked, I assume. We see. Continue. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. So you're reading your papers until you heard that sound. But of course, I'm no snoop peeping out of the windows at night. No snoop? Yeah, right. You've made a career out of snooping. Spiky head. Needless to say, the man was early. You can't be certain from that far away. What you just said directly conflicts with Miss May's testimony. Miss May clearly stated that the assailant looked like a girl. I've always been proud of my eyesight, Mr. Lawyer. Just what is your eyesight? Counting both eyes, 40. 40? Don't add them together. I think the witness is trying to say his eyesight is good. Hey, whose side is the judge on anyway? And what did you do then? Call Miss May. So why did she lie? What was Miss May doing at that time? She had just finished watching a soap opera on the TV and was weeping openly. Did you know she had been tapping the Fate office phone? Irrelevant, that has nothing to do with the case at hand. I care not. I will answer the lawyer's bold inquiry. Miss May was acting alone when she tapped the phone of this Fay woman. You'd make a good politician, Mr. White. Oh, I know. After all, I am El Presidente. Please continue. The victim, she ran away, but you gave chase. Could you be a little more detailed about that? I think it's worth knowing exactly what happened. Of course, comprende. Oh, right, I understand. Okay. I was like, what? The victim was attacked by you and ran to the left. I think I know where the issue is. You gave chase and struck her down. The only bit that wasn't struck from... Then ran to the right. That was the only bit that wasn't struck from the record. And you chased it down. Are you sure? As you know, I'm always absolutely perfect. Perhaps you could change your testimony to reflect this new detail. Yes, please do. The victim ran to the left and you gave chase. Wait right there. Mr. White, you've dug your own grave. What's this? You said the victim ran to the left, but that directly contradicts Miss May's testimony. She clearly stated that the victim ran right. Oh, it's simple. You've misheard her. I think not. Look at the floor plans. The killer was here, and the victim here. If the victim ran to the left, as you claim she did, she would have been running directly away from the door. She would have been running into a dead end. Don't you find that odd? Oh, very strange. I did see her run to the left. I did. Phoenix, look at his face. I don't think he's lying about this one. True. Maybe he really did see the victim run left. So he did witness the killing. But because he was in the room with her, left would have been right and right would have been left. So she would have been running left for him, but that would have been towards the door, whereas someone watching from across the way, left would have been towards the wall. Wait a second. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Miss May says right and Mr. White says left. Can you explain this contradiction to the court? I can. They're both right. Both witnesses are telling the truth, for once. I doubt it. Oh, I don't. Rather, that does not clear up the contradiction. There is one scenario that would explain the conflicting accounts. What? Obviously, the witness was not viewing the crime from the hotel. Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Yes, what do you mean he was not viewing the crime from the hotel? If he was not in the hotel, where could he have been? In the law offices of Fay & Co, of course. More specifically, he was standing here. Time to show the court where Mr. White was standing. This is where he was. Look. When the victim ran for the door, if he was watching from this point to him, it would appear that she ran to the left. Please, this is no time for jokes in ill taste. That is where the killer was standing. Yes. Order! I will have order! Anyone disturbing the order of this courtroom will be held in contempt. Mr. Wright, what are you suggesting? Rapscallion, are you nervous? The postulations of the defense are a distortion of the truth, Your Honor. Indeed, they do seem a bit far-fetched, do they? Ho ho ho. You provide us with so much entertainment, Mr. Lawyer. What now? He's laughing? The hilarity of the moment made me remember something. It appears I've been unclear, and for this, I apologize. Mr. Your Honor, might I be allowed to testify once more? Very well, let's hear your revised testimony. Good luck. You can't fix a broken testimony, buddy. She ran to the left. Miss May's testimony was correct, as was mine. When you assaulted the girl, she first ran to the left and then the right. Is that what he's going to say? And then you hit her savagely. That is what I saw. Next, with the last of her strength, she ran to the right. You chased her and delivered the final blow. She was hit once. That is what Miss May saw. You see, you hit her twice. Don't you remember, Mr. Lawyer? Don't you remember? You hit her once, you twat. That does seem to make sense. Will you be cross-examining the witness's testimony? Yes. You bet I will. I mean, yes, Your Honor. Present autopsy? Ugh. Was she only hit once? Ugh. Mr. White. The victim died from a single blow. There we go. Yeah. What do you have to say to that? Ugh. Now's my chance to hit him where it counts. Mr. White, wasn't it you who told the court you were absolutely perfect? I will refrain from using this phrase from now on. Your Honor, if you could ask the witness for a new testimony? The witness is obviously confused, Your Honor. I would like to request a 10-minute break. Yes, quite. The witness is confused because he's lying. I emphatically request that there be no break, Your Honor. Yeah, we want justice. Don't let him get away. Very well. If the witness would care to revise his testimony. The crowd's on my side. No slipping out of this one now, White. Mr. White? Okay. Oh, he fucked. Well, see, I looked at the other window when I heard that thing fall. Then, the next moment, I saw Miss Mia run to the what thing fall? The killer, you, attacked her, but she dodged, and then she turned and ran for the door. Then you did her in with a single blow. Thwap! Thwap indeed. Very well, you may begin cross-examination. Your Honor, my stomach, you see, is hurting. Deal with it. This is almost over. What thing fall? You heard that thing fall? What exactly was that thing? Huh? Oh, that, the glass light stand. Right, the one that had fallen over at the scene. Phoenix. Doesn't something about that strike you as odd? Well, no one's mentioned it before. Yeah, that is odd. I'll press further. Mr. White? Huh? What? You're saying you saw the glass light stand? Yes. Then change your testimony to reflect that. Sorry, my bad. The witness will revise his testimony. Okay, of course. The light stand was lying on the floor when I looked. Then the next... How would you have seen it on the floor? The next moment I saw Miss Mia run to the left. The killer, you... Hold on. The last time I was lying... How would you have seen that? That's the first I've heard of this. Why didn't you tell us about the stand before? Why? Me? Well, I was instructed not to... Wait. One moment. Give me a minute to gather my thoughts. I'm so confused. White's falling apart. Your Honor, please. I ask that you do not allow the witness to be badgered any further. Mr. Wright, please refrain from badgering the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Edgeworth is on the ropes. Very well. The witness may continue his account. Then, the next moment, I saw Miss Mia run to the left. Killer, you attacked her, but she dodged. And door. Phoenix, he's getting a lot less talkative. He's probably afraid I'll catch him on something. But it won't be easy. What have I got? So she ran to the left and then knocked over the... Oh! Would that work? Mr. White. It was impossible for you to have seen the glass light stand. Yay! What? Look at this. These are the floor plans to the scene of the murder, yes? Mm-hmm. Correct, Your Honor. Now, look. If you were to look through the window at the office, this is the area you would be able to see. Here. Well, note that the stand is not within the visible area. Well, Mr. White? What do you have to say about that? Oh shit. Ridiculosity, Mr. White. If you were in the Gatewater Hotel, as you claim, you could not have seen the stand before it fell over. In fact, you wouldn't have been able to see it after it fell either. There's no way you could have recognized the broken shards as a glass light stand. So, when did you see the stand, Mr. White? It must have been the moment that it fell. And the only place you could have seen that from is inside the Fey law offices. In other words, you were at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Gah! Oh dear. Mr. White? Mr. White? You did it, didn't you? Mr. Your Honor, I miss Mia. Looks like we're about to get our verdict. That's far enough, Phoenix Wright. What? Ugh, I forgot about Edgeworth. Mr. White, I think the time has come. Shouldn't you confess your crime now? What? I said you should confess your crime. Ergo, confess that you placed the wiretap. The wiretap? Shit, so then he would have been in the office, therefore have seen the lamp. Mr. Edgeworth, explain to the court what you mean by this. Distinguished members of the court, Mr. White is slightly confused. Allow me to explain. I really don't like the way this is headed. As you know, Mr. White is CEO of Blue Corp. He ordered his secretary, Miss April May, to tap the law offices of Miss Fay. What does that have to do? Your Honor, the question is, when was the wiretap placed in the office? And by who? No, you wouldn't. Mr. White, in order to place the wiretap, you entered Miss Fay's office. Am I correct? Correct! You are most correct, Miles. Give me a break. Yes, in order to place the wiretap, I breached the Fay & Co. law offices. This is when I saw the accursed light stand. Now I'm confused. Please explain to the court what all this means, Mr. Edgeworth. Gladly, Your Honor. Mr. Phoenix Wright has made his position quite clear. He has determined that Mr. White knew the glass stand was in the office. He has shown that there was only one time Mr. White could have seen the stand, at the very moment of the murder. Thus, Mr. Wright would like you to believe that Mr. White was the murderer. I see. However, it is a fact that Mr. White had been in that office well before the murder took place, when he went to place the wiretap. You could have seen the glass light stand then. Ergo, Mr. Phoenix Wright's theory is revealed for the baseless conjecture that it is. Mr. White, you will testify to the court about this wiretapping. Leave it to me. I feel faint. It was the beginning of September, the week before the murder. I had entered the Fanco law offices. Of course, I had done so to place a wiretap. That is when I saw this glass light stand. I guess I've just got to press him on everything. So you saw the stand before the night of the incident. And this is how you were able to identify what had fallen over. By the sound? Correct. That is right. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine. What am I supposed to do now? Good luck, Phoenix. I've just got to press him on everything. Do you have proof? Miss April May knew the details of Miss Faye's phone conversation. This proves the wiretapping was placed before the murder, but not the exact date. Huh? Right. I had entered the Fay & Co. law offices. Was it really you that went into the office? Or was it Miss May? Unidentified fingerprints several days old were found in the Fay & Co. law offices. Those were obviously Mr. White's. If I know Edgeworth, he's already run a check on those prints. Now, Mr. White, tell us why you went to the Fay & Co. law offices. Of course I don't say wiretap. Why did you tap Mia's phone? Irrelevant. This has no bearing on the current case, Your Honor. Blue Corp is a detective agency of sorts. Wiretapping's still illegal. We have a responsibility to protect our client's confidentiality. That is when I saw this glass light. Why did you notice something as innocuous as a light stand? The light stand was made entirely out of glass. It was quite stylish, so I guess it made a lasting impression on me. Such a beauticious thing deserves attention, does it not? That is all. Damn it, there's nothing there for me to press him on. Oh well, maybe he's rattled enough that I can bluff something out of him. Yeah, no, it's just the same thing over and over again. Uh-oh, don't tell me I've run out of ammo. Tisk, tisk. I'm afraid that's as far as you go, Mr. Wright. The time has come for you to admit your defeat. You fought honorably. Miles, dude. I'd go to prison. I don't know. They might have the death penalty in Japanifornia. I don't know. Like, dude. No more. I can't take this anymore. Mr. Wright, are you giving up? Yes, Your Honor. Phoenix. Phoenix, over here. I know that voice. Mia? Never give up, Phoenix. Bitch, you dead. Mia? Oh, I think I fainted. Where am I? The waiting lobby? What happened? Oh, right. I lost the child. I was hallucinating. You're finally awake. Yeah. Jesus. Hey, Phoenix. Gah? That's no way to greet an old friend. Phoenix, I want you to look at me. Well, that's disturbing. You're... Maya? Yes, 17-year-old Maya. That is incredibly disturbing. Didn't you know the Fae women have strong psychic powers? When you accepted your defeat in court, it appears that it was enough of a shock to awaken Maya's true powers. So, Maya is channeling you, Mia. That's right. I am Maya, but I'm also Mia. Now, I want you to listen to me, Phoenix. Maya never gave up. You can't either. That's what I came here to tell you. But we don't have much time, Phoenix. Now listen. You've already won. Huh? You have that receipt in the court record, right? Oh yeah, the one that you wrote Maya on? Phoenix, Wright wrote that, not me. So what do I do with it? Look at the front of the receipt. The front? It's a regular receipt. Looks like it's from a famous department store. $1,000. Wow, big spender. Item, glass light stand. Date of purchase, September 4th. September 4th. That's right, Phoenix. I bought that stand the day before I was killed. Oh! Whoa. Now, what did Mr. White say in his testimony? It was a couple of weeks, so it was beginning of September, that's it. The week before the murder. Oh, he said he saw the stand the week before the murder. There you go. I think the court is about to reconvene. Go do it, Phoenix. You know you're innocent, now you just have to prove it. Right. Let's see updated court record. 1:16 PM District Court, courtroom number 1. Oh, we got this. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright. Is the defendant rather... Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Yeah, sorry, Your Honor. I'm fine now. Then, let's start where we left off. Your Honor, there is nothing to go back to. The cross-examination of Mr. White is finished. All that is required now is for you to pass judgment on the defendant, Phoenix Wright. Nuh-uh. Your Honor, please give me one more chance. I promise you this is the last time I'll ask you. Huh. But as Mr. Edgeworth has noted, the trial is more or less finished. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have an opinion on this matter? I say, let us give Mr. Phoenix Wright his last chance. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination. Uh-oh, you're about to get fucked. Look closely at this. See the word Maya written in blood? You're grasping. I think not. Look at the other side of the receipt. The other side? Your Honor, would you tell the court what is written on the other side of that receipt? Well, a glass light stand. And the date of purchase? Why, that's the day before the murder. You see, Mr. White, when you allegedly entered Fae & Co. law offices at the beginning of September, the stand could not have been there. Ah! Well, Mr. White, can't get out of this one, can you? No, it's impossible. Uh-oh, he's losing it. Well, Your Honor, I understand there must be quite a lot of pressure on you. But I think you'll agree you can't judge me guilty under these circumstances. Very well. Then, that is all for the trial of... What now, Edgeworth? Not so fast, Phoenix Wright. What? No way can you worm his way out of this one. Oh wait, I forgot. It's Edgeworth. There is a certain thread of logic to the defendant's claims. However, there is no concrete proof that Phoenix Wright is innocent. Ergo, I would like to request one more day before Phoenix Wright is granted his freedom. I need time to make one more inquiry into this matter. Huh? Another inquiry? This isn't going to be another one of those updated autopsy reports. The meme! This guy just makes up the evidence as he pleases. This is bad. Does it matter if I object? Mr. White's guilt is obvious. There is no need to prolong the trial any further. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? If anyone is going to call Mr. White's trial, it would be me, the prosecution. I need a day to ascertain whether these new claims have any basis in factual evidence. I see. Objection denied. Well, it doesn't matter if I object or not, something would have happened. The completion of the trial of Mr. Phoenix Wright will be postponed until tomorrow. No, there's no telling what will happen if I can't end this now. Edgeworth is sure to come up with, or just make up something. And after Mia showed up to help me and all. Mr. Your Honor, may I go home? Of course, thank you for your time. Gah. The witness will stay. Mia? Phoenix, read this note out loud. Mia, what is this? Memo received from Mia, a list of people's names in Mia's handwriting. Your Honor, if I may. You're quite persistent today, Mr. Wright. You bet I am. My life is riding on this one. I have something I would like to read to the court. The memo Mia had given me was a list of names. Many of them sounded strangely familiar. People in finance, famous celebrities. That's when it happened. Stop! Desist! Halt! Please, stop. Make him stop. How did you get that list? Mr. White, admit your guilt. Right here, right now. Or else this list will be released to the press. I confess. I confess. I did it. I hit her. I hit Miss Mia with the thinker. Case closed, Your Honor. Well, I see no reason to continue with this trial. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You've done it again. That was quite a spirited defense. Yes, Your Honor. I guess you could say that. If only you knew how spirited it was. Well, this court finds the defense, rather the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, not guilty! That is all. This court is adjourned. Well, I never thought I'd be saying this again, but congratulations! You're lucky I was born a fae. I'm lucky I had both you and Maya on my side. I'm glad you made it. Thank you, Phoenix. You risked a lot to help me, and Maya. I won't forget it as long as I live. As long as you live? My time here is running out. Huh? Maya's powers are still weak. I can't stay here that long. What? No, there's still so much to say. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll meet again. Chief? I'm not the chief anymore. Phoenix? Can you come to the office tonight? Say 9? The office? I'll see you later. Chief! Mia! Oh, 9:02. Why will you gotta be late, Nick? Being here. It's hard not to think about that night. You came! Mia? I was kind of worried you might not. Huh? Of course I came. Well then. I'm pretty hungry. How about a burger? Mia? You should see your face. Mia! What are you talking about? It's me, Maya. Maya? What? Did I look like my sister? Look like you were her. I might be able to use that. Oh, Phoenix, go to the store and buy me lunch, would you? Maya? Why are you still here? Why are you here, even? Because of this. See? Mia wrote me a letter. Take care of Phoenix for me. Take care of... Huh? She means the office. This office. Someone has to help with the new Wright & Co. law offices, right? And who better but me? Maya Fey, reporting for duty. Wait, no. On second thought, let's make this casual. Yo, Nick. Maya here, ready to get down to business. You don't mind me calling you Nick, do you? It's a great name. Mia said that's what your friend Larry calls you. Nick? You know what this means? We're partners. You know, when I think about it, it is Maya's fault. I'm here now. But if it wasn't for her, I'd probably be in jail. Wright & Co. law offices. It's got a good ring to it. Yeah. Thanks, Maya. What? Good luck, Phoenix. I'll always be here. Fucking Nick's face, though. I'll always be here watching. Right, okay, Nick. Let's do it. Huh? Do what? Burgers, dummy. Burgers. There's a great burger joint just down the street. Come on, times are wasting. Okay. Wait up. The end. Episode 3. It's not until episode 4 there's any more, if the thing is right. Steel Samurai. Interesting. Episode 4. Ah, you've disgraced me for the last time, Steel Samurai! The pale moon in the sky cries for your blood. The moon? No, it is you who should gaze upon the moon, for it will be the last moon you ever see. See you in hell, evil magistrate. Whoa! Gah! The warrior's swords gleam and strike in the moonlight. One has fallen, but who? Only the moon knows. Don't miss next week's exciting episode. The Dark Messenger returns. October 14th, 5:31 PM, Wright & Co. law offices. That rocked. See you in hell, evil magistrate. Bro, stop waving that broom around. Oh, Nick. I didn't know you were here. Of course I'm here. What was that surreal show you were watching? What? Nick, you mean you don't know the Steel Samurai? He's only the most popular TV hero for young people. Young? Like, how young? 10 years old? Then what the heck are you doing getting all excited? Hey, I'm only 17. That's 17, see? I'm a teen, not like you, Nick. I don't talk to me like I'm your grandpa or something. I'm only 24 myself. Okay. So everyone in this game is younger than me. That's great. Then watch it with me. He's really cool and is really popular. When they asked grade school kids what they wanted to be, Steel Samurai was number one. I really worry about kids these days. Gramps. Well, the Steel Samurai's over. I guess it's time to close up the office. I guess. Wish we had some clients. A month has passed since my trial. Mia's murder was the talk of the town for some time, but no one paid any attention to the Wright and Co. law officers. How am I going to pay the rent this month? It'll be okay. I'm sure some big client is just around the corner. October 16th, 8:14 AM. Phoenix Wright's bedroom. Hello, this is Phoenix. Nick! Maya? What? It's still early. It's the Steel Samurai! The Steel Samurai got arrested! Huh? You mean the guy on that show? Yes! They're saying they're saying the Steel Samurai killed a villain! Isn't that what he's supposed to do? Yeah, on TV. Yeah, on TV. No, I mean he actually did it in real life. He skewered a villain with his samurai spear. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Just come to the office, quick. Please, Nick. Alright then. October 16th, 9:22 AM, Wright and Co. Law Offices. I am just going to take a break for like 2 minutes. And then I'll be back. gotta check if the mic's back on again. Okay, it's back on. Anywho, let's continue. Maya's here, watching television. Now for the morning news. The actor Will Powers, was arrested yesterday. Powers plays the lead role in the popular kids' TV show The Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo. He was arrested on suspicion of murder. The victim was Jack Hammer, who plays the villain known as the Evil Magistrate. His body was found still inside the Evil Magistrate's costume. The samurai spear was also found stuck through the body. Police believe this was the murder weapon and are investigating further. You okay there, Maya? You okay there, Maya? This has to be a joke. No, it's a nightmare. The Steel Samurai is over. The world is over. Yes, Wright and Co. law officers. What? Nick, it's the Steel Samurai. What? Yes, of course. We'll be right there. Let's go, Nick. Go where? They have the Steel Samurai down in detention. So what? So I've decided this will be our first case. Oh, look at your little chipmunk cheeks you got going on there, little puffy cheeks. Well, what should we do? What should we do? How can you just sit there like that? We have to get down to the detention center and meet the Steel Samurai. Does she want to investigate this case or just do some sightseeing, I wonder? My money's on sightseeing. We don't have enough information to make a case yet. Just admit it, you don't have a clue what happened. No, we just don't have enough information. Okay, I guess off we go then. What's wrong, Maya? It's him, in the flesh. Is that guy really him? What do you mean, that guy? Of course it's him. Will Powers, our client. That's him. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but he definitely did it. Murder. At least once. Maybe twice. Judgy. Whoa, what are you saying? Yeah? Something wrong? No. This is getting off to a great start. I know. You're disappointed, aren't you? Disappointed? Oh, no. No, it's okay. This is the real me. When I got the part of the Steel Samurai with that mask, I decided I would never show my face in public until the job was over. It's the kids, you know. I didn't want to wreck their dreams. Oh. I guess it didn't matter. So much for dreams. I wonder what they think of the Steel Samurai now. Nick? What? He's a good guy. I mean, he's good. Yeah. He didn't do it. Maybe you could start by telling us what happened. Yeah, of course. It seems like it was only yesterday. Actually, it was only yesterday. The cast had come down to Global Studios for a run-through. We went through a few action sequences at 10 that morning. There was a rehearsal scheduled for 5 in the afternoon, but when 5 came around and the staff gathered at the studio, the evil magistrate was found lying in a crumpled heap near the set. They took off his mask and discovered that it was Jack Hammer, dead. He'd been expertly skewered with the samurai spear. Expertly. The samurai spear? Yes, it's a long spear that the steel samurai, uses as a weapon. Maybe you could explain to me just what the steel samurai is? Nick! How could you say such a thing? I'm sorry, sir. I apologize for my partner. He's new to this and a bit out of touch with the world. Rude. Hey, who's new to this? No, it's alright, really. The Steel Samurai is the lead character in a popular kids show. He walks the streets of Neo-Old Tokyo, fighting battle after battle against the evil magistrate and his minions. Of course, he never really defeats the evil magistrate. Although, I guess he did defeat him this time. I see. Neo-Old Tokyo? Who comes up with these names? Now, where were you on the day of the murder? Well, that morning I came to the studios at 9. We worked through some action scenes until noon. Rehearsal was to begin at 5, but I was a little tired. So after lunch I took a nap in my dressing room. When I woke up, it was after 5. I was late for rehearsal. I hurried to the studio and found everyone looking shocked. They arrested me on the spot and brought me here. So he was sleeping the entire afternoon of the murder? Some action hero. What will the kids think? I think I should probably check out the scene of the murder. Right, Global Studios. I'll draw you a map. Wow, Nick, let's go. I'm willing to bet $10 she asked for an autograph. She asked for autographs. He didn't draw me a map. Uh-oh. I know who we meet here. Wow, so this is where they make the Steel Samurai show. Awesome. Are you excited? Hey, you there. Oh, here she is. You want in? You gotta go through me. Oh, sorry. We're, lawyers. Oh, yeah? Well, that's great. I'm security. And it's my job to make sure the gawkers like you stay out. Gawkers? Gawkers, sightseers, tourists. I know the type. You heard about the incident and came to snoop around. Used today, something horrendous happens to you, all you think is sightseeing, waste your time playing like this. You have jobs you should be doing. Maybe I should become a lawyer too. Sounds like life. I was young, you were mice with different around the stage. Hippie clothes. What are the youth going to these days? Nick? Will I grow up to be like her? Please say no. I don't know, it's possible. Hey! Listen when you're being spoken to. Use today. Main entrance to the studio. There was a big scene here yesterday with onlookers pressed up against the gate. Looks like a studio van. They probably use it to carry around film equipment. Overhead map of the studio. Right from here is the employee area. To the left are the actual film studios. The computer that runs the studio. Hey, no touching! Security guard station. Security lady must like junk food. There's a mountain of it on the desk in here. You see the computer that runs the security cameras. Is that it? So, what do you do here at the studios? At Global Studios, we make children's dreams come true. In fact, in my younger days... No. You were a star? Only a little twinkle between the stars here, I'm afraid, dearie. Whoa. Wow. This place has really gone downhill, you know. But 10 years ago, now that was a studio of dreams. Hammer was a big star back then too. He was... Hammer? The victim, dummy. Well, fuck you. The evil magistrate. He's been reduced to playing villains now. Not exactly the best material to work with. Ah, I mean, you say that. Some people really can make a great career and be very, very famous out of playing villains. But, you know, typecasting's bad. That's a whole other thing. Can you tell me about Mr. Will Powers? He's not a bad kid, but don't be fooled by his mask. You wouldn't want him on the silver screen without it, believe me. The old ladies watching would lose their lunch, so he looks a little bit like Wolverine. You know, he can't help that. Poor guy just, you know, is kind of hairy. That's probably why he thought the Steel Samurai was his big chance. No one thought he'd be capable of doing what he did to poor Jack Hammer. We don't know for certain that Will Powers is guilty. Powers? Of course he's guilty. How do I know? I know everything. That's my job. What kind of person was Jack Hammer? What kind of person? Oh, if only you knew. Jack Hammer will live on in many hearts as the ultimate action hero. He was simply dashing in the Dynamite Samurai series. He's got a weird, creepy smile. Should I have heard of that? But that was an accident during filming 5 years ago. He got an unlucky break after that. Reduced to playing the villain on a children's program. What's more, I heard they were paying him peanuts. It's enough to make you cry. Why are you so certain Mr. Powers is the killer? I was standing right here yesterday, I was here from 1 in the afternoon to 5 when they found the body. Now the studio where the murder took place is to the left here. So if you want to go to the studio, you have to go past me. Only one person went by here between 1 and 2:30 when the murder took place. And that person was Mr. Powers? Yes, I saw him. But Mr. Powers says he was sleeping in his dressing room. Oh, I'm sure he'd say that. He's no fool. But he was the only one that walked by. He's a killer. You can bet your biscuits on it. Isn't it about time for you to be heading home? There's nothing to see here. Move along. Actually, we're here at Mr. Powers' request. I thought you were suspicious looking. Show me a letter of request. And maybe I'll just let you in. This lady here thinks she owns the place, obviously. Okie dokie. Let's go get a letter of request then. Hello? How's the studio? They'll think I did it, don't they? No, not at all. That's right. Isn't that right, Nick? Right, not at all. At worst, you're a suspect. Sniff. I need a letter of request, dude. Your alibi. Mr. Powers, you aren't hiding anything from me, are you? Drink. Yeah, he's just gonna turn around and be like, I'm the murderer. I did it. I killed him. Then what? I don't think there's any point in the game where you actually have to defend a guilty person. What? No, I'd never do that. Earlier you said that you were sleeping in your dressing room after lunch. Yes, like a baby. But the security lady says she saw you that day. She says she saw you... That's a lot of S's. She says she saw you headed toward the scene of the crime. What? That's not possible! I really don't know what to say. I was sleeping, I promise. Mr. Powers, if you want me to help you, you have to tell me the truth. I'm new to this lawyer business and I need every advantage I can get. I know, I'm sorry. But I swear to you on my mama's grave, I was sleeping. Maybe the security lady only thought she saw me? What did she see? He doesn't seem to be lying. About the security guard at the main gate to the studio. Oh, the security lady? She's terrible. She called me suspicious looking. Yeah, actually, she said the same thing to me before. Take off that mask were her words, I believe. She sucks up to all the bigwigs at the studio, but let her see you stumble once and she'll never let up on you. Ugh, she's got some nerve. Do you think you could write up a letter formally requesting my representation? Of course. There we go. I just hope this will get me past the security lady. So do I. Ma'am, have a look at this. It's a letter of request from Mr. Powers. Yes, I recognise the bold, childish scrawl. Powers' request given to the security lady. I think he would entrust his fate to youths of such unreliable appearance. Really? Really? Anyway, you may pass. But only left from here, towards the studios. No going to the right. That's the employee area. No one is allowed inside, pal, were my instructions. Ah, Gumshoe. The good detective told me himself. Hey, Nick. Huh? There were maps in the security guard station. Hey, not bad. Those are 50 cents apiece, thank you. Well, time to go, Nick. 50 cents. Yeah, I am paying you. My goddamn thingamajig is over the top of it. It's this main gate. Okay, let me just move that because it's... There'll probably be something in the way of that later, but that's the main gate, so nowhere to the left. Employee area where the dressing room is. The right Studio 1, Studio 2, okay. Bye, bitch. Outside Studio 1. Hey! Aren't you that murderer from the other day? It's that confused detective. Hey pal, you know Prosecutor Edgeworth's all upset and it's your fault. I saw him sipping tea and staring gloomily out the window. So? Hey! If he's depressed, it's all your fault for doing the sloppy detective work. Oh dear, Maya. You upset, Gumshoe. Detective? I think you hurt his feelings. Oh no. I'm sorry. Well, I think his feelings are easily hurt. You're right, pal. It's all my fault. I can blame other people all I want, but I know the truth in my heart. Hey, don't take it so hard. There's always the next case. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Hey, what exactly are you two doing here? Well, we're on this case too, pal. Huh? Hey, you can't just go around saying pal like that. That's my endearing character trait. That Gumshoe, that it is. I'd say he's a character, alright. Actually, let's examine first. Camera. Hey, there's a camera here. A security camera. It takes photos of people going into the studio. All you have to do is look at the data who went where. Play it on the camera. Not STI. 307. The camera ID number. Welcome. There's a big welcome sign above the path. Yeah, apparently the studio's fallen on tough times. They started letting people in on the days they aren't filming. They make a bit of extra money per admission. Huh? You sure know a lot about this place, detective. You know, you could always quit being a detective and work here. Yeah, and what perming with the studio mascot down to the count. Huh? Just what's that supposed to mean, pal? bench. I'm a little bushed. Maybe I'll take a short rest here. Hey, good idea, pal. Detective, aren't you on the case? Well, yeah, but... Hey, as detectives get tired of standing around too, pal. Detective Gum, what's down the path to the left? It looks like a tree path. Oh, yeah, that was dangerous. You should stay out, pal. There's nothing down there, right? Surely. Surely there's nothing down there. That's where Studio 2 used to be. They don't use it. Oh, okay, maybe not then. Oh yeah, it says Studio 2 right there. The studio mask, I guess it's a monkey of... Really? What about that? It says monkey. Oh, okay. But what kind of monkey has that? He's holding a sign in his hand. Right. Studio 1, left to Studio 2. What's up with that thing? It looks kind of busted. Oh, the wind was pretty strong yesterday and the head broke off. It took that tree down with it too. Studio 1. The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. Let's go in and check it out, Nick. Hey, it's locked. Looks like you need a keycard to get in. Makes sense that they would want to keep the non-employees out. Okay, let's talk to them then. So, how's your investigation going, Detective? Well, it's... Yeah, I can't tell you that, pal. Nick, maybe you need to be a little bit more indirect with your questions. Right, so, Detective, mind if I take a look at what you got? What I got? The autopsy report, the latest version, if you please. Oh, right. Sorry about what happened last time, pal. Time of death, 15th of October at 2:30 PM. Cause pierced through the chest by a spear. Why was Mr. Powers arrested? Simple, pal. The murder took place right over there in Studio 1. Now, the victim entered Studio 1 at approximately 1 PM. At that time, there was no one other than the victim in the studio. According to the autopsy report, the time of death was 2:30. Only one person went to the studio between 1 and 2:30. And that person was none other than Will Powers. No one else, pal. If you think I'm lying, ask the security lady at the main gate. Nick, if that's true, anyone would think that Powers did it with that kind of... Yeah. About the security lady. Oh, that sweet old lady? What a charmer. Huh? Are we talking about the same person? When I showed her my badge, she had a donut and some coffee. Remember what Powers said? She's a sucker for authority. She even gave me a piece of valuable evidence. What? What kind of evidence? Well, that, photo. The photo of the Steel Samurai headed towards the scene of the crime. What? Who took that? See that camera up on the gate, pal? The gate? You mean the one with the welcome sign? That's not really a gate, is it? Yeah, whenever someone walks by, the camera automatically snaps a photo of them. Oh no. Nick, he has... We're finished. Oh shit. Funny, for someone with hard proof, he doesn't look too happy. Oh, you seem down. Don't look so happy when you say that. Oh. We'd like to ask the employees here some questions. Sure thing, pal. Go wherever you like. Of course, you're not going to find any clues I haven't already found. Glad someone around here seems to be enjoying themselves. Nick, let's go. We've got a free pass to the place. Now's our chance to check things out. I can only go back out to the main gate. Nick, look! The security lady is in the guard station stuffing her face with donuts. It's all cops like their donuts. Yeah, and they're soft. She doesn't need teeth to chew them. Oh! Hey, you! Well, are you satisfied Powers is guilty yet? Ugh. She had to make my life hard giving that photo to Detective Gumshoe. Why didn't you tell us security photo, ma'am? Huh? Oh, that? I just thought it would be more thrilling to Detective himself. Things are important, you know. Oh, just to the left from here is the gate with the camera that took that photo. It's my job to check the photos every day, you see. The guard station is in a central position. No matter where you're here, you pass by my station first. Now, poor Hammer, he went to the studio just for one. We've been over this, right? Maybe it was you? Good one, Sonny. She thinks I was joking. That's security camera. Oh yes, the camera. It's automatic. It can tell when someone walks through that gate, see? Then it snaps a photo. Apparently it records the time when it ticked you too. But I don't myself with those details. I just the photos on the computer over in the guard station. Every day before going home, I do. Is this the same? Popular actor. Oh, he was the biggest star in the studio. Was? Past tense? Oh yes, he was great as the bearded samurai. Best. He's brightest back in the day. Making a star like him play the evil magistrate. It's a disgrace, I tell you. Hammer took it pretty hard, and who can blame him? Employee area. Nick, this is where they do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Hey, look! There's Power's dressing room. No one's here this soon after the murder, I guess. Let's take a look around. A window into the dressing room. The glass is frosted so I can't see inside. There's a sign by the dressing room door. Will Powers, it must be neat to be the star and have your own room like this. The door to the dressing room is not locked. Hey Nick, let's take a look inside. Maybe we can find something as a souvenir. What do you mean find? You never know. There might be something like the samurai spear. We don't need a spear. And that's the murder weapon, crying out loud. There's remains of yesterday's lunch scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the minus the steak. T-bone steak. That would have hit the spot. You just had a burger. Yeah, but I have a second stomach just for steaks. Okay, Maya. What? Maya's one of those people that just eats everything but never gains weight, isn't she? Let's see. Cola, candy, chips, gum. Huh? It's so... I was expecting some cool theme snacks or something. Popcorn, at least. Wait, look! Samurai soda. Nick, try this. Ladies first. Okay, it slides all the way, so I don't... Oh, the ladder's not... Okay, so I guess that's not a ladder, step ladder thing. Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. Don't know about these. I mean, what's the point? It makes it a lot easier to go up hills. Don't people cycle to get exercise? There's a half-finished backdrop for a here. Looks like a castle. Probably neo-old Tokyo castle. The bench. The metal grate on the drain here has been taken off. That's a pretty big drain. A kid could fit through there, I bet. Yeah, if you snuck in that way, you wouldn't have to hit the gate. Well, if you want to leave that way, be my guest. Right. Huh? Hey, I'm not a kid! The grate that you used to cover the drain is a little bent. I don't think it would fit if I tried to put it back on. Dressing room. Power's dressing room. So this is where he would, or at least this is where he claims he was sleeping. No one actually saw him taking a nap here, did they? And there's a picture of him near the scene. I hope he's telling the truth, for his sake. There's some regular suits in amongst the costumes here. Those must be his own clothes. It'd be fun to wear one of the costumes. I'd say you're already wearing one myself. My culture is not a costume. There's a bunch of snacks on the table. They must give these to the employees. Some tea and cookies. Nick, I'm hungry. You just had a burger. Yeah, but I have a separate stomach for sweet. How many stomachs do you have? Are you a cow, Maya? Is it 3 or is it 2 stomachs? Or am I confusing that with hearts because the doctor has 3 hearts? Cows have multiple stomachs, I'm sure they do. How many stomachs does this girl have? This must be Power's bag. Hey, don't open that. Look! An employee keycard. That must be Power's. It says Studio 1. Let's take it, Nick. Borrow it. You mean borrow. I can get in Studio 1 now. Wait, there's something else in the bag. I wonder what else is inside Power's bag. Stop that! My partner, the thief in training. There's a vast array of cosmetics here. Ooh. This is the wig he used in Samurai Boogie Woogie. Nick, try this on. No. And how can you tell the name of a show just by looking at a wig? I, kinda like the samurai movies. Kinda? They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. I see my hair is still nice and spiky, just how I like it. Looks like someone was sleeping here. Maybe Powers did take a nap here yesterday. It's locked. Looks like he doesn't open his window very much. I guess it is kind of dusty outside. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, I can't get into Studio 1. Nothing new here. No, oops. So, detention center? Apparently they have Mr. Powers in questioning. Huh? Right. Look, pal, that camera takes a picture automatically whenever someone walks by. And it took a picture of Will Powers. I have to ask him about that photograph. Oh well, let's try again later. I don't know where else to go. What's going on, Nick? Powers said he was sleeping in his dressing room, but now there's a photo of him going to the studio? Don't look at me, how should I know? Oh yeah, this is just the same thing. Then I realised that the poster doesn't actually say the title of the movie. Oh, it's slightly different. Oh. Yes. What? What? I'm streaming. Yeah. What do you think the photo the detective was talking about is the problem here? Well, that's hard to say without seeing the actual photo ourselves. But if it is Powers in that photo, his alibi is shot. Only one person went to the scene of the crime before the murder took place. And there's a photograph to prove it. I guess it makes sense that the person is the killer then. What do we do, Nick? Maybe there was someone else who could have gone to the scene other than Powers. Let's take a look. Maybe that security lady missed someone. One thing's for sure, if there are any clues, they'll be in that studio. I mean, I can go to the studio now. Hey, detective, take a look at this. What's that? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't show him that, he'll confiscate it. Oh, I just wanted to show it off. Oh, nothing has changed. Or here. Maybe I can talk to him now? No, I don't. What am I supposed to do? Like, I don't. I can't figure out what I'm supposed to do now. Oh, that must be the storage room. That's where they keep all the film equipment. Wow, Nick, you know a lot about the industry. What else would they keep in a film studio? Okay, I think that might be that. I really don't know what else to do here. No one has anything new to say. Got nothing to present. Unless I can now, yeah, I can now do this. I wonder if the key card we borrowed from the dressing room will work. It opened. Alright, we're in. She's way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. Oh, I see another ladder. What is it? You're real quiet all of a sudden. Doesn't it give you shivers, Nick? That white tape, it's so real. There's no blood. Well, the evil magistrate did die here, and the steel samurai killed him. The murder weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. Ladder. Look, a ladder! That's a step ladder. So, what's the difference? You need to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Right. Sorry. This girl is out there. One step ladder down. Camera. Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton. Yeah, so don't touch it. Whoa, it's heavier than I... Hey, you! No touching that! Sorry, my partner is kind of, you know. You know? No, I don't know. Who are you? Who, me? I'm an assistant here. I help with props and stuff, moving them around, ordering new ones, etc. We're lawyers representing Mr. Will Powers. Oh, you're WP's people. WP? Oh, Will Powers. WP, I get it. I don't envy you guys one bit, but do what you can for WP, okay? He'd never hurt a fly. He has to be innocent. Don't worry, leave it to us. Let's finish examining. Wow, look at that camera, that must cost a ton. Yeah, okay, not this again. Looks like a backdrop for a stage. This must be used in the Steel Samurai show. Of course, that's the mountain Neo Fujiyama. Doesn't the Steel Samurai take place in Old Tokyo? Can you even see Mount Fuji from there? Not Old Tokyo, Nick. Neo Old Tokyo. Oh, right. Hey look! That's the chair the director sits in. I've always wanted to sit in one of these. Hey Nick, take a look at that. One of those black and white boards they clap at the start of filming. And look, a megaphone! A real live megaphone! Ready, Nick? Action! This girl is more trouble than I thought. What's this? That's for reflecting light. They call it a reflecting screen or something like that. The assistant holds it during filming. Huh. What, where's your enthusiasm for all things entertainment? Well, lighting is fine, but I'd want to be the director. Or maybe the Steel Samurai. I think she's being serious. They outlined where Jack Hammer's body lay with tape. His body was found still inside the evil magistrate costume. I guess that's why the head part looks like a helmet. Funny, I expected a spear stabbing wound to leave at least a few bloodstains. I guess the costume must have absorbed most of it. Could you tell me anything about the day of the murder? Yes, I was in the studio the whole day. I was the only assistant on staff that day, you see. Only one assistant? Yes, well, the studio isn't doing so well right now. And yesterday was only a rehearsal for our action sequences. Oh, I see. Oh my god, fucking old bag in the background there. Oh my god. In the morning we went through the action sequences in the employee area. WP and Hammer were there, along with everyone else. The employee area, that's where Powers' dressing room is, right? Yes, that's the place. After eating lunch there, Mr. Hammer went to Studio 1. Then I saw WP going into his dressing room. But I didn't see either of them after that. Did you know that Mr. Powers was sleeping in his room? No, I wouldn't go in there unless I had some urgent message for him. I mean, it's his private... What kind of girl do you think I am? What kind... No, I'm sure you're a fine girl. Sorry. So much for getting a confirmation of Powers' alibi. What do we do, Nick? We haven't found anything. If WP was the only one who came to the studio, then he has to be the killer. They even have a photograph. Huh. Sorry? I know you're busy. Not really. Actually, there's been something bothering me. Ha! That's what I'm talking about. A clue. A lead. Well, I don't know about that, but that day, just after noon, I sensed someone was here. You sensed? Yes, several times. Some other studio employees, maybe? No, I don't think so. The only thing we had scheduled was an action scene run-through. I was the only assistant here that day. I have a feeling it was someone from outside. Really? But wait, if someone had come in here, wouldn't that security lady have noticed it? Not if they came in through that vent. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry I don't have any better information than that. No, thanks. That helps us a lot. Anything helps. Let's go put that security lady on the spot. So you sense that someone other than the regular film crew was in the studio? Yes, I think. I think doesn't cut it in a witness testimony. Nick, what about the security lady? If someone else came into the studio, she must have seen them. What? You're still here? Really? You look as though you've seen a ghost. What? I saw the suspicious look on your face. I wanted to ask you again about yesterday. You came here at 1 PM, correct? And the estimated time of Hammer's death was 2:30. So you're sure that Powers was the only one to go through here between those times? Sure as can be. But we have a witness who thinks there was someone from the outside here on that day. What? Are you absolutely sure you were here watching the whole time? Ma'am? Who was it? Who told you that? Who dares question me? Alright, you better tell me quick and tell I'm just worried every time that she's going to go off on one of her rants, so I'm trying to read it quick. Alright, you better tell me, and tell me quick, you spiky-haired cretin. Someone's been complaining about the work I do, huh? We're just talking to the assistant in Studio 1. Huh? She's not even a full-time employee. All you young'uns are like that nowadays, running your mouths wherever you go, saying this and that and the other thing. I'll tell you, when I was young, I know I was thinking to about expecting your older shame that you used today about She left. Well, Nick, this is our chance to do what we can without her looking over our shoulders. Computer. The computer that runs the studio security cameras. Nick, maybe we can see that photo of Powers with this computer. Yeah, maybe. Should I try the computer? Yes. Okay, let's give it a try. You know how to work one of these things, Nick? Looks like I just have to enter in a few numbers. Let's see, first I need the date of the murder. It looks like the camera turned on at 1 PM that day. 1 PM, that was when the security lady arrived at the guard station. Please enter the number of security camera. I don't remember. Hey, it printed out the data for that day. Let's see what we got. Oh god, that was right. Huh? How is this a picture of Will Powers? Well, he is the one who always wears that suit. I guess that's why the security lady thought it was him. I don't imagine the detective was very happy with his photo as evidence. Huh? Something's printed on the back. Huh. October 15th, 2 PM, photo number 2. What does that mean? Maybe there's more photo data from that day? Nope, that's the only one on this computer. Ooh. Where's photo 1? Hey Nick! Can we use the photo as evidence for the trial? Yeah. We'll put that security lady in her place with this. Right, we'll put her in her place. Hey, that's what I said. Anyway, let's show her this photo and see what she says. Wait, let's not. Why not? It's never a good idea to reveal your hand to the enemy too soon. Nick, you're craftier than I give you credit for. Why, you could be the next evil magistrate. Hey, why do I have to be the villain? Relax, it was just a joke. So, are we done for today? I think this photo is what we needed for this trial. Still, it'd be better if we had some idea who the real killer was. Maybe it really is that security lady. And I think this is where I stopped for the day. My head hurts from this damn Xbox headset. So it is about time I quit. So now. Oop. Need to find a way to pause this. Options. Can we pause? There we go.